I died on a rainy Tuesday night in Chicago, my mom's voice still echoing in my skull like a bad country song stuck on repeat. "You're just a leech," she'd screamed, hurling my duffel bag out the third-floor apartment window onto the cracked sidewalk below, where it burst open like a gutted fish, spilling my life in stained underwear and crumpled pay-stubs. I'd stood there in the doorway, rain already soaking through my thin blouse, begging her one last time for a place to crash just a week, until I could scrape together first month's rent somewhere else. But she slammed the door in my face, the deadbolt clicking like a judge's gavel. And that was it. End of the line for Faith Harper, age 28, disposable daughter. The cab I flagged down swerved into a pothole on Lakeshore Drive, hydroplaning straight into a semi-truck's grill. No dramatic last words. No montage of regrets flashing before my eyes. Just the crunch of metal, the bloom of pain like fireworks in my chest, and then nothing. Blackness. The kind that swallows you whole. No echoes. No dreams. I figured that was the end. Poetic justice for a girl who'd spent her life bleeding money and love into a family that treated her like an ATM with legs. But death, it turns out, has a shitty refund policy. When I opened my eyes, I wasn't in some pulley-gated suburb or a fiery pit of mom's Catholic guilt trips. I was staring at the same goddamn ceiling fan in our old apartment on the south side, the one with the wobbly blade that always smelled like burnt popcorn from the tenant below. My hands smaller, smoother, nails not bitten to the quick, gripped sheets that felt too crisp, too new. I bolted upright, heart hammering like I'd chugged 3 Red Bulls, and caught my reflection in the dresser mirror across the room. Not 28-year-old Faith, hollow-eyed and strung out from double shifts at the call center. No, this was 22-year-old me, fresh out of community college, hair in a messy ponytail, wearing that ratty DePaul hoodie I'd burned a hole in during finals week. "What the actual fuck?" I whispered, my voice cracking high like it hadn't in years. The clock on the nightstand blinked 6:47 a.m. July 15th, 2019. 6 years back. Before the endless grind. Before mom's gambling debts turned her into a snarling debt collector. Before my brother Jake pawned my laptop for fentanyl and laughed about it over lukewarm PBRs. Before the betrayal that gutted me worse than any truck ever could. I was back. Reborn in my own skin. Armed with every scar and secret from the life I'd just escaped. And oh, honey, I wasn't wasting a single second this time. Mom thought I was a leech? Fine. I'd show her what a real parasite looked like, one that bit back, drained you dry, and left you wondering how the hell you'd ever breathed without it. The apartment smelled like Folgers and regret, the same as always. Mom was in the kitchen, humming off-key to some old Reba McEntire tune on her ancient boombox, flipping pancakes that were more charcoal than batter. She looked up as I shuffled in, barefoot on the linoleum that peeled like old Band-Aids. "Morning, sleepyhead. You gonna drag your ass to that internship today? Or what? Rent's due next week. And your daddy's ghost ain't paying it." Daddy. The word hit like a sucker punch. In this timeline, he was still alive, sort of. Buried under 6 feet of Lake Michigan silt after his fishing accident 2 years ago. But alive in her stories. The ones she spun to guilt me into forking over every paycheck. I knew the truth now. The one I'd pieced together in my first life after too many whiskeys and a private investigator's invoice I couldn't afford. Mom hadn't just let him drown that night. She'd nudged him off the pier during one of their screaming matches, high on cheap gin and desperation. The life insurance payout, $250K, had kept the wolves at bay for a while, until the slots at Horseshoe Casino ate it alive. And me? I'd been the idiot daughter, signing over my loans and tips, thinking blood was thicker than the red ink staining our bank statements. Yeah, Ma, I said, forcing a smile that didn't reach my eyes. Internship's calling. Big things today. I poured myself coffee, bloskas my muet, and watched her over the rim of the mug. She was 48 going on 70, lines etched deep from smokes and lies, her bleach blonde hair frizzing in the humidity. In my old life, I'd forgiven her 1,000 times. Forgiven Jake for stealing my identity to fund his habit. Forgiven my boyfriend, ex now. Thank God, Tyler for ghosting me when the evictions started piling up. Forgiveness was for suckers. This time, I was playing for keeps. The internship was at Harper & Klein, a mid-tier marketing firm in the Loop, all glass walls and kombucha on tap. In 2019, I was the eager beaver, the girl with a psych degree from Harold Washington College, dreaming of climbing the ladder to creative director. Little did past Faith know that ladder was greased with bullshit. My boss, Elena Klein, sharp as a stiletto, twice as lethal, had pegged me as her golden ticket from day one. Faith. Honey, she'd coo, sliding me extra projects. You're the only one here with real fire. Fire that she'd steal, bit by bit, until my ideas fueled her corner office and fat bonuses, leaving me with coffee runs and a pink slip for attitude issues. I clocked in at 8:45. The receptionist, brittle-haired Brenda, barely glancing up from her Sudoku. The open-plan floor buzzed with millennials tapping away on MacBooks, AirPods in, pretending they weren't soul-sucking for the man. Elena's office door was ajar, her laugh spilling out like syrup over a conference call. I knocked lightly, slipping inside with my notebook clutched like a shield. Faith. There she is. Elena beamed, waving me to the chair opposite her desk. Mid-40s, Pilates toned, with a bob that screamed, I brunch with influencers. She was the aunt you wanted but never had, until she knifed you in the back. Sit. We're brainstorming the Vanguard campaign. Your pitch last week? Gold. But we need to punch it up. Make it controversial. Controversial. The words slithered out like a promise. In my first life, I jumped at it, suggesting an ad series that toyed with gender norms, women in boardrooms, men in aprons, to stir a buzz for Vanguard's eco-friendly home goods. It went viral. All right. Viral enough to land Elena a TEDx talk, while I got credited as junior assistant input. This time, I leaned forward, elbows on my knees, channeling the ghost of every wrong I'd ever swallowed. Controversial how? You mean, like, calling out the hypocrisy? Vanguard sells sustainable crap made in sweatshops overseas. We could lean into that, run a spot where a mom tosses her kids' toys because they're toxic, then cuts to the factory kids stitching them for pennies. Tagline: Your green dream, their nightmare. Boom. Shares skyrocket. Lawsuits optional. Elena's eyes lit up, but there was a flicker calculation, like a shark scenting blood. Edgy. I love it. But dial it back. Faith. We don't want to piss off the C-suite. She jotted notes, her Montblanc pen scratching like claws. You're a natural. Keep feeding me these, and we'll go places. We'll. Not we. I nodded, all sugar and spice. But inside, the old Faith was screaming. Places? I'd get her to the top all right, then push her off, metaphorically speaking. As I left her office, I accidentally bumped the doorframe, my phone slipping from my pocket onto the carpet. It landed face up. Voice memos app open. Recording silently. Paranoia?
Nah.
Just 6 years of hindsight. Baby. Lunch was a sad turkey wrap from the deli cart, eaten at my desk while scrolling Indeed for apartments I couldn't afford. Jake texted, "Yo sis. Need 50 for gas." Ma said you got it. I deleted it without replying. In the old timeline, I'd Venmo'd him $60. Every time, until he racked up $10,000 in my name for bail bonds and benders. This time, he was getting radio silence. Let him stew. By 2 p.m., the office thinned out, early Friday vibes, even though it was Wednesday. I was deep in mock-ups when Tyler sauntered by, all dimples and distressed jeans. Tyler Reyes, barista poet with a man bun and a trust fund he hid behind struggling artist bullshit. We'd met at a open mic 6 months ago. He'd read some drivel about lost love. I'd clapped too loud. 3 months in, he was crashing on our couch, charming mom with his sensitivity and charming cash out of my wallet for gigs that never happened. "Hey, beautiful," he murmured, perching on my desk like he owned it. His cologne, cheap Axe mixed with weed, wafted over me. "Missed you last night." That poetry slam was fire. "You should have come." I looked up, slow, letting my gaze rake him like he was yesterday's news. In the first life, I'd melted, canceling my shift to play groupie. Ended up walking home at dawn, heels blistered, while he hooked up with some undergrad in the green room. "Sounds epic," I said, voice flat as the loop's winter wind. "But I've got deadlines." Rain check. His brow furrowed. That puppy dog pout he weaponized so well. "Everything cool? You seem off. Off. Try reborn. You silver-tongued leech." "Just focused."
Tie.
"Big girl things." I turned back to my screen, fingers flying over keys. But not before snapping a mental Polaroid, the way his jaw tightened, the flicker of possession in his eyes. He dumped me in a year, right after I borrowed his credit card for mom's rent. Said I was too needy. This time, I'd flip the script. Quietly. Smartly. The day dragged, a blur of revisions and coffee refills, until quitting time hit like a mercy kill. I grabbed my bag, waved bye to the ghosts of coworkers who'd ghost me later, and headed for the L. The train rattled north, graffiti blurring past like accusations. Home was a third-floor walk-up in Pilsen, walls thin enough to hear the neighbors' arguments in Spanish. Rent $1,200 that mom swore was temporary. As I climbed the stairs,
Key in the lock.
I heard voices, mom's, shrill and wheedling, and Jake's, low and pissed. "Told you."
Ma.
Faith's loaded from that internship. "She won't miss a couple hundred." I froze, hand on the knob, heart thundering. Peered through the peephole, mom pacing the living room, cigarette dangling. Jake sprawled on the couch nursing a course. The coffee table was littered with bills, overdue notices from ComEd. A casino marker stamped final warning. "She's my blood."
Jake. But yeah.
Kiddo's got prospects. We'll ease her into it. Say it's for your grandma's meds or some shit. My blood.
Prospects.
Ease her into it. The words slimed through the door, igniting something feral in my gut. In the old life, that's exactly how it started. Small asks, building to demands, until I was forking over half my salary. Credit score in the toilet. Dreams deferred. And the secret? The one that unraveled it all? Mom's inheritance from Dad wasn't luck. It was murder. She'd confessed it to Jake one drunk night. 6 months before my crash, thought I was asleep on the couch. He was gonna leave me high and dry. Jakey. For that waitress bitch. Water's deep out there. No one asks questions. I'd confronted her then, tear-streaked and trembling. She'd laughed in my face. Proof? You got nothing.
Girl.
Now pay up. Or join him. That was the night she threw me out. The night I died. I twisted the knob slow, silent as a shadow, and stepped in. They both jumped, Mom stubbing out her smoke like it had bit her.
Faith.
Honey, you're home early. How was work?
Great.
I dropped my bag, casual as pie, and headed to the fridge for a water. Felt their eyes boring holes. Heard you two brainstorming. Grandma's meds.
Huh.
What's the real play this time?
Ma.
Horseshoe again. Jake snorted, but Mom's face went chalk white. What are you on about? We were just saving for a family trip.
To Disney.
Yeah, I heard. I twisted the cap off, took a long swig, eyes locked on hers over the rim. Challenge hung in the air, thick as the weed smoke from Jake's last joint. But let's cut the crap. I know about Dad. The pier. The payout. Silence crashed down like a guillotine. Jake's beer slipped from his fingers, foaming across the carpet. Mom's mouth worked, fish-like, before she rasped, "You don't know shit."
Faith. Lies.
All lies. I smiled then, cold and sharp as the windy city's gale.
Oh.
I know enough. And this time, I'm not playing mule. I set the bottle down, deliberate, and pulled out my phone. Hit play on the memo from Elena's office, her voice clear as day. We'll tweak it, make it mine for the pitch. Not ours.
Mine.
But that was just the appetizer. The real feast? Revenge. Slow roasted, served with a side of scandal. Mom lunged for me then, nails out like claws. But I sidestepped easy. 6 years of dodging her hysterics had made me quick. Get out, she shrieked. The words I'd heard 1,000 times in my head. You're just a leech.
Faith.
Sucking us dry. There it was. The line that killed me. But this time, I didn't beg. Didn't crumble. I grabbed my bag, zipped it with a flourish, and paused at the door. Funny.
Ma.
That's what Dad said right before you pushed him in. Her gasp was music, pure, horrified symphony. Jake gaped like a landed trout. I left quietly.
Smartly.
The stairs echoed my footsteps. Steady, unhurried. Outside, the July sun baked the pavement. But inside,
Ice.
crystal clear purpose. They thought they could bleed me again?
Nah.
I'd drain them first, their secrets, their lies, their sorry-ass empire of deceit. Starting with Elena's stolen thunder, moving to Tyler's wandering dick, and capping it with Mom's watery grave of truths. Chicago, you beautiful bitch. I'm home. And this time, I'm calling the shots. The L clattered over the Chicago River. steel wheels screaming against rails like the city's own frustrated howl. I leaned against the pole, phone in hand, thumb hovering over Tyler's contact.
Delete, block, nah.
Too soon. In the old life, cutting him off cold turkey just made him chase harder. All apologies and mixtapes, until I caved like the chump I was. This round, I'd play him like a fiddle, string him along, extract every dirty little secret, then snap the bow over his knee.
Quietly. Smartly.
First stop, my bank app. Balance, $847.32. Pathetic. But it was a start. No more wiring cash to mom's emergencies. I'd need every dime for the war chest. A quick search pulled up eviction laws. Illinois gave tenants 30 days notice. But with what I knew, I'd be out in a week. Sublet be damned. Craigslist blinked back options. A studio in Wicker Park for $950. Furnished. No pets. Close enough to the loop to commute. Far enough from Pilsen's drama to breathe. Text to a stranger. Interested in the Wicker Park spot. Can do a walkthrough tomorrow? Reply pinged in seconds. Sure. 6 p.m.? Bring ID and proof of funds. Proof of funds.
Ha.
I'd Venmo myself from savings, fake it till I made it. Back at the apartment, no. Scratch that. Their apartment now. I'd planned to crash on the couch. But the door was locked. Mom's doing. No doubt. Her petty lockout game level 1. I buzzed from the stoop, the intercom crackling like bad reception.
Ma?
It's me. Forgot my keys inside. Static. Then her voice. Tinny and triumphant. Find a motel.
Leech.
We're done.
Click. Bitch.
I laughed out loud, startling a pigeon into flight.
Done? Oh.
We were just getting started. Uber to the nearest motel, $6.42. Ouch! But worth it for the shower that didn't reek of mildew and the bed that wasn't lumpy with Jake's forgotten socks. As the water scalded my skin, I mapped it out. Step 1. Secure the new digs. Step 2. Sabotage Elena without getting my hands dirty. Step 3. Expose Tyler's side hustle, selling bootleg merch at his poetry events, pocketing cash under the table. Step 4. The big one, Mom's murder rap. Cops wouldn't touch it without evidence. But I had memory sharper than a switchblade. The private eye's name, Russo Investigations, popped into my head like a lifeline. $500 retainer. But it'd be worth every penny. Sleep came fitful. Dreams tangled with Dad's face, laughing at White Sox games. His calloused hands fixing my bike, morphing into bubbles rising from black water. Woke at dawn. Throat raw. Resolve harder than the motel's threadbare towel. Breakfast was vending machine checks mix, chased with yesterday's coffee gone cold. By 9 a.m., I was back at Harper and Klein, badge swiping me in like I owned the joint. Elena was in a meeting, her door shut, voices murmuring behind glass.
Perfect.
I slipped to my desk, fired up Photoshop, and got to work on those Vanguard mock-ups. But not the sanitized version she'd demand. No, these were my babies raw, unfiltered. The factory kid's eyes haunted the frame, accusatory, while the tagline bled red, sustainable, or just sweat. I saved 2 files, one tame for her, one viral grenade for later. Brenda the receptionist shuffled by, coffee stains blooming on her blouse like Rorschach tests. Morning.
Faith.
Elena wants you in the 10 a.m. huddle. Thanks, Bren. I flashed teeth. But my mind was elsewhere, on the server room down the hall. Keycard access only. In the old life, I'd bitched about it being sexist, only execs had cards. But hindsight whispered, hackable. A quick Google on my phone, bypass office keycard. Forums lit up with DIYs, magnet tricks, foil hacks. Risky. But the prize? Elena's emails, ripe with proof she'd poached my pitches before. The huddle was in the fishbowl conference room. All of us crammed around a table sticky with ghosted bagel crumbs. Elena stood at the whiteboard, marker squeaking as she sketched buzzwords. Disrupt. Empower. Authenticate. Tyler, wait.
No.
Not Tyler. Trent, the account exec. All bro dude energy and Vineyard Vines polos. Faith. Your thoughts on Vanguard? Let's hear it. I stood, smooth as silk, projecting the tame mock-up onto the screen. Solid foundation here, family-focused.
Green vibes.
But to amp engagement, we add a twist. User-generated content. Moms sharing their zero-waste hacks ties into the controversy without going nuclear. Nods rippled around the table. Elena's smile was a shark's, approving, but hungry. Brilliant.
Faith.
You're on point for the rollout.
Trent.
Budget it. On point. Translation. Unpaid overtime. Her glory. I sat. Pulse steady. Already plotting the leak. By noon, I'd emailed the tame version to her, CCNG myself, of course, and forgotten to log out of the shared drive. Let the IT log show my fingerprints. I'd have an alibi in the viral drop. Lunch break. I ducked out to a corner bodega. Grabbed a burner phone for $20 cash. No trace. First call, Russo Investigations. Voicemail clicked on. Gravelly baritone. You've reached Mike Russo. Miracles cost extra. Leave a message. Mike. Faith Harper. I need dirt on a drowning, Lake Michigan. Summer 2017. Guy named Tom Harper. Accident. Pays no object. Call me back. I rattled off the burner number. Heart jackhammering. Proof. Finally. Fucking proof. Back at the desk. Tyler's text lit up. Babe. Where you at? Ma said you stormed out. Drama? I typed slow. Bait on the hook. Family stuff. Crashing out of friends. Miss you though. Gig tonight? His reply. Hearts and fire emojis. Addressed to some dive in Wicker Park.
Perfect.
I'd show. Play the doting girlfriend, but with eyes wide open. In the old life, I'd ignored the girls grinding on him at those events. Chalked it up to artistic freedom. This time, I document every grope, every whisper. Build the case for when I torched his world. Afternoon blurred into emails and edits. Elena popping by twice to brainstorm. Code for mining my brain for free. Faith. That zero-waste angle? Genius. We'll pitch it as mine, ours, to Vanguard Friday. Slip of the tongue? Bullshit. I nodded. All eager beaver. But inside, the old Faith curled into a ball, while new Faith sharpened her claws. Quitting time. I bolted for the Wicker Park viewing. The super, a burly Polish guy named Kaz, met me at the door, squinting at my ID. Proof of funds. I flashed my bank app, balance inflated by a quick transfer from Jake's emergency slush fund, $200 I'd lifted from the cookie jar that morning. Before the lockout. Digital sleight of hand, he'd never noticed till statements hit. Solid, Kaz grunted, ushering me in. The place was a shoebox, kitchenette with a hot plate, bed shoved against exposed brick, bathroom the size of a closet. But the window overlooked a courtyard with string lights. And for the first time in forever, it felt like mine. Take it, I said, handing over a deposit check I'd forged on the spot, practice from covering Mom's bounced rents. Move in tomorrow?
Kaz shrugged.
Keys at noon. No pets. No parties.
Deal.
I shook his meaty paw, pulse thrumming with illicit thrill. Step 1, check. Night fell sticky, the city pulsing with summer sin. Tyler's gig was at the Empty Bottle, a grimy spot in Ukrainian village where the beer was $5 and the crowd smelled like patchouli and regret. I slipped in late, nursing a gin and tonic at the bar, eyes scanning the haze. There he was on stage, spotlight carving shadows on his cheekbones, reciting some maudlin crap about shattered mirrors and midnight confessions. The audience, mostly trust fund hipsters and wide-eyed co-eds, ate it up, snapping pics for their Insta stories. I watched him work the room after, all charm and cheek kisses, zeroing in on a redhead with septum piercing and a crop top that screamed, "Daddy issues." My burner phone captured it all, his hand on her lower back, guiding her to a corner booth, the way he leaned in, lips brushing her ear. Zoomed in on the laugh lines crinkling, same ones that'd crinkle for me later. In apologies I'd buy. Enough for tonight. I texted, killed it. Poet. Meet you outside? He replied instant. 5 minutes. When he emerged, sweaty and smug, I draped myself over him, all soft whispers and wandering hands. You're electric up there.
Ty.
Makes me wanna. You know. His grin was wolfish. Oh yeah? My place or yours? Motel. Drama at home.
Lie.
But it worked. We tumbled into an Uber, his mouth on my neck the whole ride, oblivious to the phone in my lap. Voice memo rolling.
Quietly. Smartly.
The motel room was the same as last night, neon sign buzzing, vacancy, like a migraine. Clothes hit the floor, bodies tangled in the dim. But my mind was a vault, cataloging his tells. The sighs that weren't for me, the phone buzzing with texts he ignored. Post-coital. He lit a joint, passing it over. So, what's the beef with your fam? Ma on a tear again. I exhaled slow, smoke curling like secrets. Same old. Money. Dad's ghost haunting the bills. Probe gentle. See what floats up. He chuckled.
Low.
Tom was a prick anyway. Heard he was banging that diner chick. Your ma did the world a favor, letting him swim with the fishes. My blood froze mid-drag. Letting him. Not accident.
Favor.
Tyler knew. All this time. He'd known. And played the sympathetic ear while Mom's checks cleared his art fund. I rolled toward him, tracing his jaw, voice honeyed venom. Yeah? She tell you that over beers?
Nah. Jake.
Loose lips. Man. He yawned, oblivious. Jackpot. I filed it away, snuggling closer till his snores rattled the thin walls. Slipped out at 3 a.m. Cab fare from his wallet, $1.60. Poetic justice. Back in my own motel bed by 4. Sleep came easy. Dreams of peers and payouts dancing like sugar plums. Friday dawned gray. Thunder rumbling distant over the lake. Office was electric, Vanguard pitch day. Elena strutted like a peacock, My tame mock-ups rebranded as her brainchild. Team. This is it. Faith's input was pivotal, she announced in the boardroom. All false humility. Pivotal.
Cute.
The execs' suits from Vanguard, stiff as starched collars, nodded along. But I saw the cracks, the side eye at the diluted message, the polite coughs. When Elena rapped, gushing about empowerment arcs, the lead guy, silver fox named Hargrove, leaned in. Edgy stuff. Elena. But we've seen buzzier. Got anything with teeth? Her smile faltered. Teeth? Absolutely.
Faith.
Show them the alternates. Alternates. My cue. I flicked to the screen, heart pounding steady, and loaded the Grenade version. Factory kids. Sweatlines gleaming, taglines slashing. Your green lie. Their last breath. Gasps rippled. Hargrove's eyes widened, shock. Then glee. Now that's disruptive. Run with this. Budget doubles if we greenlight. Elena's face drained to ash. Faith. We didn't. Clear the air. I cut in. Smooth. It was your vision. Elena. I just executed. Lies. Delicious. The room buzzed approval. Handshakes all around. As we filed out, Elena cornered me in the hall. Grip iron on my arm. What the hell was that? You trying to tank me? Tank?
Nah.
Elevate. I peeled her fingers off. Gentle but firm. You said controversial. I delivered. Check your email, timestamp this morning. Your sign-off. She sputtered, storming to her office. By 2 p.m., the deal was inked, $2 million campaign. My name on the creative lead line. Elena demoted to oversight. Whispers flew. Rogue move. Genius or suicide? Controversial?
Check.
After hours. Russo called the burner. Harper? Got your message. Drowning 17, tricky. Witnesses scarce. But I know a harbor master owes me. $750 up front. Another if I dig gold. Wire instructions? I haggled to $600. Funds from the Vanguard bonus already hitting my account. $5K. Sweet vindication. Make it fast. Mike. Family reunions coming. Night 2 with Tyler, another gig. Another booth conquest. This time, I played wingwoman, laughing at his jokes, buying rounds on his card. Snagged his phone during a bathroom break. Unlocked. Careless, scrolling texts. Redhead from Tuesday? Her place? 10 p.m. And buried deeper. Ma. $200 for Jake's thing. Tell him it's from Faith.
Ma. His ma? No, Mom.
Thread after thread. Coordinating loans behind my back. Rage simmered. But I pocketed screenshots. Slipped the phone back. When he found me later, sloppy drunk, I drove his Jeep, keys borrowed, to a scenic overlook by the lake. Poetic. Right? I said, parking under sodium lights. He grinned, hands roaming. But I pulled back, voice steel. Tell me about Dad.
Ty.
The real story. His buzz evaporated.
What? Faith.
Babe. Jake told you. Mom too.
The push.
The insurance. I held on my phone. Recorder live. Smile for the feds. Panic flashed raw. Animal. He lunged, fumbling for the device. But I was faster.
Door open.
Tumbling out into gravel. You crazy bitch, he yelled. But I was running. Phone clutched, dialing 911 as his tires squealed away. Officer? Attempted assault. Witnessed a confession to accessory after murder. Cops came quick, 2 uniforms. Skeptical, but procedure-bound. A statement taken. Phone evidence bagged. Tyler? Picked up by midnight. Bail denied on priors I hadn't known about. Quietly.
Smartly.
Saturday morning broke with a hangover of adrenaline, not booze. The motel coffee was sludge, but it fueled me as I packed my duffel, final time. This ghost of a life shed like snakeskin. Russo texted coordinates, a dingy office in Bridgeport, all flickering fluorescents and filing cabinets scarred like bar fights. Mike Russo himself, paunchy, 50s, with a Marlboro rasp and eyes like a bloodhound's, greeted me with a grunt. Harper.
Cash.
I slid the envelope across his desk. Crisp 20s fanned just so. Gold or fools? Mike. He pocketed it, firing up his ancient PC. Harbor logs first. Night of July 22nd, 2017. Your pop's boat rented under Tom Harper. Returned solo by Lorraine Harper. Timestamp, 11:47 p.m. Docking cams grainy. But see here? He zoomed to still, blurry figures on the pier. One shoving.
Splash.
Not conclusive. But motive? Wife's debts up to her eyeballs. Casino cams show her cashing the policy check next day. Smells. Smells like premeditated. I leaned in.
Pulse throb.
Witnesses. Drunk fishermen. Mile down shore. Saw lights. Heard yelling. Dismissed as domestic, but he talks for $200. Russo's grin was crooked. Your ma's got form, 03. Assault charge.
Dropped.
Sister in Milwaukee. Says Lorraine joked about offing Tom for years.
Joked.
The word curdled. I'd heard those jokes at Thanksgiving. Mom slurring over turkey. Your father's too stubborn to die natural. Laughter then. Horror now. Wrap it tight. Mike. Affidavit. Timeline everything. I want it bulletproof.
2 weeks.
Rush job. Another 300. Deal struck. I left with a manila folder, prelim docs, enough to choke a jury. Step 3. Arming up. Wicker Park studio awaited. Keys cold in my palm. Kez waved me through. No fuss. The place echoed empty, my echo. Finally solo. I unpacked deliberate. Laptop on the fold-out desk. Mock-ups printing for my portfolio. A bottle of Malbec chilling for tonight's toast to freedom. But freedom's a jealous mistress. By noon, Mom's number buzzed the burner, unknown. But her cadence gave it away. Faith, baby. It's Ma. We gotta talk. Jake's in a bad way. Cops hauled him for that Tyler mess. Says you set him up. Come home.
Please.
Family. I hung up mid-sentence. Blocking the line. Bad way?
Good.
Let it fester. Jake's rap sheet in the old life. Possession. Theft. A DV on his ex that Mom bailed him out of with my rent money. This timeline? Accelerated justice. Afternoon. Deep dive on Elena. Her LinkedIn gleamed, promo to partner last year, my pitches, a keynote at South by Southwest, my angles. But dig deeper. Reddit threads on r/marketing. Klein's a thief, stole my concept, blackballed me. Anonymous. But pattern screamed. I crafted an email burner account, concerned alum, to the firm's board, Attached, docs proving Elena Klein's IP theft. Mockups time-stamped to Faith Harper's machine. Pitched as original. Vanguard deal at risk. PDFs attached. My originals. Her edits. Server logs I'd borrowed via a USB drop in the restroom that morning. Social engineering 101. Chatty in turn with a crush.
Send.
Then, to ice it, a post on Glassdoor. Harper and Klein. Great coffee. Shitty ethics. Elena K. Loves collaborating on your ideas. Theft not talent. Controversial? The replies would avalanche by Monday. Evening unwound slow. Malbook warming my veins as I scrolled news on my laptop. Tyler's arrest hit the local blotter. Local poet charged with assault. Linked to cold case. Linked how? My tip to the tip line anonymous. But juicy. Ask about Tom Harper. 2017. Tyler Reyes was there. Post push beers with Lorraine. Cops connected dots faster than I expected. Jake. Questioned as accessory. Cracked like cheap eggshell. Mom? Detained for routine interview. Her casino buddies scattering like roaches. A knock rattled the door, sharp, insistent. Heart leap. I peered through the peephole. Jake. Wild-eyed. Hoodie zipped to his chin. Glancing over his shoulder like a fugitive.
Faith.
Open up. It's me. Moss sent me. We need to. I cracked the door. Chain latched. Voice ice. Need to what? Jakey? Pawn my shit again? Or just beg for bail? His face crumpled. Genuine?
Nah.
He'd weaponized tears since we were kids. Sis. It's fucked. Cops got Ma in holding. Tyler ratted, said I knew about Dad. But I didn't. Not really. She made it sound like an accident. Please.
Faith.
$5,000 for the lawyer. You're the golden child now. With that job. Golden child. The laugh barked out. Bitter. Golden? Try sacrificial lamb. You two bled me dry last time. Remember the laptop? My identity for your highs?
Fuck off.
Jake. He pounded the frame. Desperation cracking. You're killing us. Blood ain't blood no more. A neighbor's door creaked. He bolted. Curses trailing like exhaust. I bolted it too. Sliding down the wood. Breaths ragged. Blood ain't blood. Damn right. But the shake in my hands? Old habits. The pull of that toxic tether.
Poured another glass.
Let the wine dull the edges. By midnight, sleep claimed me. Dreams of peers churning to peers of paper. Russo's dossier. Elena's downfall. Tyler's cell. Sunday, sanctuary in self. Farmer's market on Damon. $20 on heirlooms and artisan bread, luxury. Earned. Texts from unknowns, Mom's friends. Pleading proxies. Lorraine needs you.
Faith.
Heart condition. Heart,
Try conscience.
shriveled as a raisin. Ignored. Monday scorched in. Harper and Klein was a hornet's nest, whispers hissing. Brenda manning the front like a bunker.
Faith.
Chaos. Boards in crisis mode. Elena's out, sick leave. They say.
Sick. Ha.
I clocked in. Desk cleared of my stuff? No, promoted already. Corner cubicle, with a view of the bean. Hargrove from Vanguard cornered me in the break room. Coffee and paw. Harper.
Right?
That pitch? Ballsy. You're the future here. Led on phase 2. Absolutely. Handshake firm. But inside, thrill of the con. using their game against them. By lunch, HR called. Official offer.
Faith.
Senior creative. 65K base. Plus bonus. 65K. In the old life, I'd peaked at 42. Buried in debt.
This.
Launchpad. Signed digital. Funds direct deposited by end of day. $10K signing.
Sweet.
But the real fireworks? Elena's email blast, resignation. Personal reasons. Attached. Glassdoor printouts. My post circled in red. Vindictive?
Petty?
You bet. Controversial decisions piled like cordwood. Leak the docs? Watch her burn. I forwarded to a reporter contact from an old journalism class. Exclusive. Marketing mogul's theft ring? Anonymously?
Of course.
Afternoon blurred to calls. Russo. Progress update. Fisherman flipped. Swears he saw the shove. Got a partial plate on her car. Matches your ma's old Civic.
Gold.
Timeline locked. Pickup next week. Evening, twist in the tail. Tyler's lawyer, public defender. Overworked, called the studio line. MS. Harper, regarding Mr. Reyes. He claims coercion. That recording, altered. Altered? Bullshit. Check the metadata. Counselor. Crystal. But doubt-wormed. Had I flood the app? No, pristine. Still. A shadow. I cross-checked with a free audio tool online. Legit. Paranoia eased. But lesson stuck. Trust no one. Not even your own ghost. Tuesday. The heat cranked. News hit. Local affiliate. 6 p.m. slot. Cold case thaw. 2017 drowning reopened amid new tips. Mom's mugshot flashed.
Disheveled.
Eyes wild. Jake's too. Sniveling in cuffs. Reporter. Sources say family infighting sparked the probe. Insurance fraud alleged. Possible homicide. My phone exploded. Reporter sniffing. Old friends texting WTF Faith? I went dark. Burner only for Russo. Accelerate. She's lawyered up. Night fell heavy. Thunder finally breaking. Rain lashed the windows like accusations. I paced the studio. Wine forgotten. Mind replaying the shove, not the one on the pier, but mine. Had I pushed too hard? Jake's plea echoed. Blood ain't blood? But blood had drowned Dad. Pimped me out.
Stolen my spark. No.
This was justice. Delayed, but due. Wednesday. Office apotheosis. Hargrove pulled me into his orbit. Faith. Vanguard's all in. Your lead. Elena's desk gutted. Her bobbleheads in a box like battlefield dead. Whispers followed. She tanked it. Harper's ruthless. Ruthless. The word thrilled. A crown of thorns I wore proud. But controversy brewed, personal. A package at the door. Mom's handwriting. Scrawled. Read this. Then judge. Inside. Letters. Yellowed.
Dad's.
To her, Lorraine. I can't keep covering.
The debts.
Leaving for her.
Forgive.
And one for me, kid scrawl. Age 10. Love you, Ma. Forever. Guilt knife twisted. Forever?
Shattered.
Burn them in the sink. Flame licking like absolution. Called Russo. Full court. I want her buried. Thursday. Tyler's hearing. Waived appearance. Bail denied. Flight risk. Prior stacking. His text to the burner. You win.
Faith.
But karma's a bitch. Karma? I'd been her whipping boy.
Now?
I was the storm. Friday. Climax crested. Rousseau delivered, dossier thick as a Bible. Affidavit sworn. Cams enhanced. I met him at a neutral diner. Greek town. Gyros steaming untouched. It's ironclad.
Kid.
DA salivating.
But.
You sure? This torches your world. My world's ash already. Paid the balance. Cabbed to the precinct. Detective Ruiz, hard-eyed Latina. No nonsense, took the drop. Flipping pages. Harper?
The daughter.
Bold move. Bolder staying silent. Statement poured. Timelines. Motives. The jokes I'd endured. Her nod. Respect. Edged with pity. We'll need you to testify.
Testify.
The word chilled. Face mom in court. Her eyes begging Leech, but nod. Whenever. Home. The rain stopped. Moon slicing clouds. Victory tasted metallic. Blood. Sweat. 6 years' tears. But twist lurking, a voicemail. Burner to burner. Tyler. Voice cracked. Faith. It's over. But listen, your ma didn't act alone. Jake held the rope. And me? I filmed it. For insurance, hers.
Delete to vid.
Or it goes viral. Your call.
Rope?
Filmed? The gut punch doubled me over. Not just push, struggle. Staged? My family. Monsters in tandem. And Tyler, the videographer, holding the noose. Quietly?
No.
Smart? Smarter. Counter. The voicemail looped in my skull like a bad acid trip. Tyler's rasp clawing through the static. Delete the vid. Faith. Or it goes viral. Your call. Viral. As if my life hadn't been a meme already. Daughter turns on killer mom. Poetic justice porn for the true crime pods. But rope? Jake holding dad down while mom.
No.
The image bloomed grotesque. Pierce slats slick. Dad's please bubbling to gargles. And Tyler, 22 then, phone out like a tourist, capturing the insurance for blackmail leverage later. Leverage he'd never used until now. Cornered rat biting back. I didn't sleep. Paced the studio till dawn painted the bricks pink. Mind a war room. Options flanking like generals.
Confront? Nah.
He'd lawyer up. Spin it coercion. Leak first?
Risk to viddropping.
Smearing dad's last breaths public. No, the play was surgical. Quietly.
Smartly.
Burner to Rousseau. Need a hack. Tyler Reyes Cloud. iCloud. Google Drive. Vid from 2017. Peer footage. Pays double. His reply risky. But doable. 48 hours. Daylight brought clarity. Sharp as shattered glass. Office was a circus, Vanguard Phase 2 kicking off. My team assembled. 3 juniors. Wide-eyed. Hanging on my every brainstorm. Faith. The factory angle? Iconic. One gushed, a pixie-cut kid named Mia. Iconic. Felt like armor. Hargrove clapped my shoulder at the pitch. $5 mill extension. Your magic. Harper. Magic? Try malice. Alchemized to gold. Sign the bonus check, $20K. Wired half to Rousseau. The rest to a PI fund for Jake Shadows. Mom's arraignment hit the feeds by noon. Murder 1. No bail. Daughter's testimony key. Reporters camped her block. I went incognito. Cubs cap low. Slipping past to plant a bug in her lawyer visit. Tiny recorder. $50 Amazon special. Tucked in the bouquet Kaz recommended. Afternoon. Elena's ghost haunted via email. Personal. Bitter, you played me.
Faith.
Enjoy the throne. It's lonely. Lonely? Better than Leech dry. I drafted reply. Unsent. Thanks for the latter.
Pity you greased it.
Deleted. Forwarded to HR as harassment log. Controversial? Let her stew in the scandal I'd seeded. South by Southwest invite revoked. For the reporter's follow-up. Plagiarism probe sinks marketing star. Evening, the twist tightened. Jake's number, new. Desperate, pinged. Sis. Ma's breaking. Says testify nice. Or she spills your secrets. The loans you fudged? IRS don't play. Fudged loans. The old sin, co-signing mom's debts. Adjusting income on apps to qualify. Felony territory. If audited. Blackmail boomerang. But I knew her play. Divide and conquer. The Harper special. Called Ruiz. Voice steady. Detective? Update on the vid tip. Tyler's holding footage. Leverage. Send a warrant. Harper. You're a one-woman tornado.
Pause.
Papers rustling. Got a CI saying Jake was the muscle. Rope burns on his palms. 17 ER visit. Matches. Rope burns. The confirmation gutted, but fortified. Pull him in. Hard. Night 2, Russo's drop. Diner redux. Manila thicker. Vid secured. Deleted from his drives. Backup scrubbed. You're clean. Inside, the file. Timestamp July 22nd, 2017. 10:53 p.m. I didn't watch, couldn't. Dad's face. Final?
Nah.
Erased it on site. USB crushed under heel. And, bonus, Tyler's got priors, extortion. Dropped 18. You're recording? Gold for leverage. DA's drafting charges. Leverage. The word echoed. Ironic. No more. I paid. Vanished into the drizzle. Saturday, reckoning dawn. Court convened at 9. Cook County Courthouse, a fortress of marble and misery. I dressed sharp, tailored blazer from the bonus splurge. Hair sleek. No trace of the South Side girl. Reporters swarmed the steps. I shouldered through.
No comment à montra.
Inside, the gallery hummed gawkers, true crime junkies, moms, friends, dabbing crocodile tears. Mom shuffled in, orange jumpsuit swallowing her frame, hair a rat's nest. Our eyes met across the well, hers pleading, mine obsidian. Jake beside her. Cuffed. Shooting glares like daggers. Tyler? Absent, but his shadow loomed in the charges now pinned. Accessory. Extortion. Judge, a grizzled vet named Kowalski, banged gavel. Arraignment. State versus Lorraine Harper et al. Murder 1. Conspiracy. The litany droned. Not guilty pleas. All around. Then, prosecution calls Faith Harper for preliminary. The stand was wood polished to a sheen. Bible optional. I swore truth. Voice level. Ruiz approached. Gentle but probing. MS. Harper. Your relationship to the deceased. Daughter. Simple. Then the flood, the debts, the jokes, the lockout night replayed verbatim. Leech, the hurl.
The cab.
Gasps rippled. Mom whimpered. And the footage. Ma'am, your ex-partners? Confessed on record. Attempted to extort deletion. Exhibit A, my phone audio. Tyler's rasp filling the room. I filmed it. For insurance. Objection from Mom's PD. Hearsay. Overruled. Kowalski's eyes narrowed. Motion to deny bail denied. All three. Remanded. Hammer fell. Mom lunged against cuffs. Shriek splitting. Faith. You bitch. I made you. Bailiff wrestled her down. Jake spat curses.
Me?
Stood tall. The weight lifting like fog off the lake. Outside. Flashbulbs popped. MS. Harper. Motive for turning. A blonde from Fox. Mike thrust. Truth, I said. Camera swallowing my face. Overblood. Ducked into a waiting car. Hargrove's offer. Ironic. Ride? We need your story for the brand.
Brand.
Even now. Sunday. Epilogue in motion. Studio felt vast. Victory hollow-edged. Wildest time merited. Cab saw from Binny's. Cork pop echoing triumph. News cycled. Family implosion. Daughter's revenge? Pundits debated, hero or villain. Controversial to the core. My decision splashed in op-eds. Was justice served? Or vendetta unleashed? Russo called. Final invoice settled. Case airtight. Trial in 6. You testifying full.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Closure demanded it.
Monday, new normal. Office promoted me outright. Creative director. 90K. Team of 5. Mia gushed over coffee. You're a legend. Faith. Legend. Felt like survivor. But the twist's tale, a letter. Certified. From Tyler's cell. Faith vid was bluff. No rope. Just push. Jake lied to save skin. Forgive? Or rot together?
Bluff.
The rage flared. Then ebbed. Not forgiveness. Indifference. Shredded it. Ashes to the courtyard below. Weeks blurred to months. Trial hit October. Leaves turning like pages. Courtroom redicts. Evidence mounted. Cams. Affidavits. My testimony a scalpel. Carving lies to bone. Mom cracked on stand. Sobs theatrical. He was leaving.
The debts.
I snapped. Jake folded. She made me watch. Hold him still. Tyler. Via video link. I filmed for proof. Blackmail was stupid. Sorry. Verdicts. Guilty.
All. Mom.
Life no parole.
Jake.
25 to life. Tyler. 15 concurrent. Gavel eternal.
Outside.
Autumn crisp. I breathed free. No Leech, apex. Unchained. Wicker Park bloomed. Dates with a barista poet, irony's gift. Weekends at the Art Institute. Sketches in my notebook, my ideas. Unpotched. Hook's echo faded. That rainy night. Bags spilled. Death's grip. Reborn. I'd clawed back. Betrayals buried. Secrets exhumed. Controversial? Damn right. Tense?
To the marrow.
But American as apple pie grit.
Grudge. Grace.
Mom's last words. Through glass at Cook County. Why? Faith. 'Cause bloods just ink.
Ma.
And I rewrote the story. Quietly.
Smartly. End.